everyone, Simsy Claire here and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are doing an ice cream shop. Now, I don't do a lot of community builds or community lot builds on my channel. I think the last one I did was a coffee shop, and I was actually really happy with that one. I was really proud of how it turned out because I suck at community builds. I'm much better at just doing family houses, which I'm sure you guys know because I do those all the time. But I was really, I was really inspired. I was watching Halloween Town the other day, and obviously in Halloween Town they have the the snowman, the abominable snowman ice cream shop, and so I was really kind of inspired by that. And so I wanted to build an ice cream parlor here in The Sims. Not to mention, I think that the only world I have never built in as of now on my channel is Magnolia Promenade, which is because it's all retail lots and it also is super tiny. I think there's only like 4 lots here, and it kind of doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for this world to be here, but I get why it came with Get to Work. But I don't think I've actually ever built in it, period, if we're being totally honest. I don't even think I've ever visited this world because I only use Get to Work to either make my own bakeries, which are usually in Brindleton Bay, or to use like the doctor career. So now that I'm sitting here talking about it, I don't think I've ever had any of my Sims go to one of the shops in Magnolia Promenade, which is probably kind of sad, but at the same time, I mean, can you blame me? Anyway, going into this, I was trying to get inspiration from the rest of the shops here. So a lot of them are just completely like cement flooring and then just a couple of different garden plots. So that was kind of my thinking. And honestly, after I started building this, I honestly thought that it probably would have looked better in Brindleton Bay to begin with, because it's definitely more of like a farmhousey style. Wow, farmhousey style, Emily. A farmhouse style build. It has the exposed like roof pieces, and it's like a black and white farmhouse color scheme, kind of like the one that I did in Brindleton Bay. So I was kind of sitting here thinking that maybe it was a little too rustic to be in Magnolia Promenade, but I kind of changed the colors of the windows. I leave the doors these. Oh no, I don't change the color of the windows. That's right. So the windows that I wanted to use in the front here, they don't have matching colors to the doors that I used, but I really liked how the colors of the doors looked with the tile that I had chosen for the 2 front patios, and then also the trimming on the roof. So I decided to leave the doors and then use those windows in the white color because the rest of the build is white and the interior is almost stark white. So I figured that it would kind of be okay. It wouldn't be perfect, but I didn't really think it would matter all that much. And then I'm going around here in the back and adding another garden plot. The one good thing about these lots is that it's really easy, as long as you like follow the schematics of the world, it's really easy to landscape them. Like, you don't have to have a whole lot of mismatched plants, because it's a very much so like planned community basically. So like all of the plants look the same and everything is pretty much planned out for you. So it was kind of nice not having to think about how I was going to landscape it. It just kind of came together super easy. And then here, this is where I started talking about the exposed roof pieces that kind of made it look more farmhouse. These pieces right here, I put them all over the roofs, and it was after I placed these that I was like, you know, this probably would have done really well in Brindleton Bay, but I'd already started building here, and I was like, I'm gonna see this through. So then I started trying to just find stuff from Get to Work to place around, but I couldn't find anything I liked. Like, all of these signs were super big. I ended up putting one of the chalkboard signs out front by the bottom of the staircase. And I think I add this hanging one here. It was the only one I could find that was small enough that it didn't look so obnoxious on the side of the building. But we're about to go onto the patios, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I actually built this. Yeah, so I found these chairs and tables from Get Together, and I initially started with 2 tables on each patio, but then I realized very quickly that I could fit more as long as I just didn't put the tables in the middle of the patio. So I end up with 3 on each, and then I also end up with 4 tables inside, and then I think 4 tables on the back patio. So that is 11 tables. Yeah, it should. So there's 11 tables here, and each table has between 2 or 3 seats. So you can see plenty of Sims here. I'm sorry my camera's moving all over the place. I was trying to figure out like how to make this match the world a little bit better, and that's why it's moving around. But the video was super short. I felt really weird cutting out too much of it because of like it was just so short. So I did decide just to leave some of it in, and I think while editing I just missed some of the more random things, but I decided to cover the back porch. Initially I was going to leave it open, but I thought that having all of the umbrellas, like the umbrellas in the front and the back, would just be a little extra, so I did decide to leave it in. And then going on to the interior, I add these two walls here, or these two rooms here. Those are going to be the bathrooms. And then I don't do it at first, but I end up adding a wall around the counter space. You'll see it when I get there in a minute. But I have never used this flooring from Get to Work ever, and I just thought that it looked so cute for an ice cream parlor. Like, I don't know what it's supposed to be used for from Get to Work, but I honestly thought that it was just the cutest thing for like an old town ice cream parlor. I don't know. I was so in love with it. And then I started to use these counters, but I quickly realized that I did not like how they looked, so I ended up going with the island living ones. And I did it because this wood tone kind of matched better to the wood on the doors and everything that I was using. And then the white kind of played off with the lightness of the walls. And I use these two cash registers, and I was initially going to make the counter somewhere where you could eat, but I decided against it. I thought that might be a little much, and I also didn't know if your Sims, like, they don't actually have to go to the cash registers to ring people up, but I figured, like, logistically it didn't make a whole lot of sense, so I decided just to scrap the chair idea. And then going in here, I'm drawing the lines for your Sims to get their ice cream from, and at first I closed off the lines entirely, which obviously doesn't make any sense because then your Sims couldn't leave the line without backtracking back through all the other people. So I moved that so that way it could have a space for your Sims to exit. And then I also added some walls just so I could put in some pastry cases, because I'm not sure if you guys know this, but in order to run an ice cream shop or a bakery, you have to run it as a retail store and just set your ice cream or your baked goods for sale. So basically you need somewhere to store all of your ice cream and your baked goods so that way your customers can reach it. So I always use the pastry cases. I'm pretty sure that the ice cream can go into the pastry cases. If it can't, then you can just replace those with different refrigerators, but I'm pretty sure that the ice cream can go into the pastry cases. In any case, here's the walls that I was talking about to block off the kitchen area. I just kind of thought it filled up the space. The space was looking really bare and empty, and I wasn't really liking the direction that it was going in, so I went ahead and put these cabinets overhead, and then I drew some walls around it just to close off the kitchen, because I also thought that made a bit more sense. Like, you wouldn't have an open kitchen in an ice cream parlor. But this is where I start adding all of the tables. So I was going to try and fit more tables, but I wanted your Sims to be able to walk around, and I also figured ice cream shops, they're like super cold. I'm sure all of you have been in ice cream shops before. They have to be kept cold for the ice cream, so I figured that not a lot of people would want to sit inside the ice cream shop anyway. I thought a lot of people would just want to sit outside, so that's why I decided just to do 4 tables on the inside. And then right now I'm going through and I'm trying to add some decoration. So I add a couple of these really tall plants. I add some plants on all of the tables, and I end up adding a couple of picture frames. It's not a lot. I use these ones from Tiny Living with the cupcakes on them because I kind of thought that this would be a bakery and an ice cream shop, so I was kind of going with, you know, baked goods, and I also put the coffee there. And this obviously won't function as a coffee shop. Now, if you replace where I put those cash registers, if you put a coffee bar there from Get Together, then this has all of the requirements needed for a coffee shop. It just doesn't have that bar. So if you replace the like I said, where the cash registers are, or if you take away one of the pastry cases and one of the bathrooms and you place a separate line for a coffee area, that would work too. But I just wanted to focus on this being an ice cream shop and a bakery. And then going in here, it's just a simple bathroom. I was about to leave the windows as they were, but then it was really starting to bother me, so I decided to fix it with the curtain. And I add a picture in each one just so it's not completely bare. But both bathrooms are exactly the same. I use the Get to Work paper towel dispenser and soap dispenser, and then, you know, just basic bathroom decorations, a sink, a picture, and a mirror. But besides that, that is pretty much it for this build, so I hope you all enjoyed this ice cream parlor, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye!